Hi everybody, it's Kimberly and I have major news. There's a shakeup that's happening in our twin flames worlds right now, I think particularly for the divine masculine, and it's guiding them towards if you're in separation and they're in a relationship. What I'm experiencing with my twin, and I feel like I'm hearing it from others as well, is that there is a major shakeup going on as I had predicted, and that the relationships that they're in are really like coming to a peak. And in that peak, I think many of them are about to end, and it's causing the divine masculine to be in a very vulnerable place, and it's the healing that is going to come from that is going to be huge for them. And I think that those who haven't healed yet or dug into the true awakening or true healing of the wounds, not taking time to face themselves or not going to that level, because everything's been so much on a 3D plane with them. For my twin, it's been he's in a relationship with a narcissist. I believe that he has codependent traits which are symptoms from inner child wounds. By the way, if you haven't liked our Facebook page, please do. I'm posting videos that are from psychotherapists, spirit leaders like Teal Swan, who help you understand the connection between spirit and science and what narcissism, what codependency means. And so I'm posting a lot of not just inspiration, but useful tools that will help shed light onto your situations and your twin situations. So please like our the Twin Flame Family Facebook page. There's a link right on the YouTube channel. But getting back to understanding the narcissistic traits, the drama that has transpired with my twin and this relationship that he's in has caused the drama and the conflict and what's going on with this female to come into my life. And unfortunately, I've really had to look at this and figure out why and what lessons are here for me and why her energy is now in my field. And it's definitely been almost a stressful couple of days, for a number of reasons. Because one, I know my twin is hurting. So as he hurts, I hurt. Two, because there's a feeling of needing to tough love him right now, which means I cannot save him. I cannot help him. I cannot even, have energy involved in this, because what's about to transpire are his huge lessons. So we had a conversation because it was completely necessary in order to understand the current drama and to try to work through it so that I can be in the full know and be able to either shield the energy, and really just understand what's going on so that I can continue allowing it, and also be mindful of myself and what I need to know in terms of energetic, shielding or whatever. And I'll get more into that. So in that conversation, there was a lot that happened. There was a sharing of information. There was arguing. There was, love. There was compassion. There was frustration from both sides. But the undertone of our conversation, what it feels like, is that there's a true feeling of, despite all this drama, and despite how it's affecting me and how it's really destroying him right now, that there is a feeling of that, despite the frustration, that this is truly drawing us closer. And that underneath all, the harsh words or the frustrations or whatever is a deep, 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 deep love and compassion. And I could feel it. And I know that he can feel that as well. And when I hung up the phone, there's no, if you think that in this situation you're going to get a resolution or answers or anything or a quick timeline, you're not. Like, there's deep healing that he needs to go through, and he knows it. And that means that even after this relationship ends, there's going to be a period where we're still not going to come together. And you need to allow for that, because this is part of the process. So I've been working with the Ascended Masters cards, especially this week. They were really resonating for me, so I was kind of using them with my tarot readings that I was doing on my own. And there were certain things that kept coming up repeatedly, certain cards, certain masters and messages that I feel like are hovering over the collective twin flame as well. The whole collective twin flame connections that are happening on the planet right now. And so I want to hold these cards up for you and show you sort of how my progression went for the week and what kept resurfacing. It wasn't like I saw these cards once. They just kept coming up in each reading. So the first one, and it's going to be backwards on the video, so I'm sorry if you can't see it correctly. But the first one is the Twin Flame card, and that's Angus, which is a story about Angus, who turned himself into a swan to be with his twin. It's about, it's the swan. It's eternal love. It's, looking up to the skies and thinking about the possibilities. You can see he's looking outward, and there are stars and the heavens sort of frameworking this. And then the swan, which is the eternal love symbol, and the purity. And there is so much purity there. So remember, underneath all the muck that we are in right now, like, I think situations for many people are going to get messy as things shake up. And so if you're not in that, if you're in a cleaner place where there's more silence right now, not as much going on, that's great. But know that when things break on the other end, like say if your twin is in a relationship, that things will go through a shakeup and they will get messy. And we need to remember that this is the purity of the connection right here. This is it. This is the pure intention. This is pure, and nothing, no messiness, no drama, no conflict can taint it. Okay. The other interesting cards that I was getting simultaneously are Clear and Shield Your Energy, and this is Elmoira. And this is powerful too. Detach from Drama, who is Pallas Athena, and Choose Peace. Okay, and Choose Peace is the Paramahansa Yogananda. And what these cards are saying, that detach from drama, is, you choose not to let it affect you. You choose to rise above this. If you're having residuals infiltrate your life from things that are going on with your twin, make sure that you take a minute to understand what's truly happening. So one of the things that occurred to me is that not only does my twin have a soul contract with this woman that he's in, but because the energy is so strongly impacting me, because I'm being affected by it, I do very much feel like, I also feel like she and I have a soul contract and have had friction and jealousy and these types of things in other lifetimes. And the way it is now is, I'm trying to articulate this correctly. It's a feeling of that, the insecurity is for her with me, and it could have been completely different in other lifetimes. It could have been the role reversal. We could have been a male-female embodiments, all sorts of things. But this to me feels like residuals also of me and her in a past life. So It's interesting. It needs to be taken into account and looked at, because there's also karma and clearing here for me too. This isn't just like a random his drama filtering into my life. On a positive note, the encouragement cards that have been popping up have been Archangel Michael and the You Can Do It. And they've been popping up for me around two things. This situation specifically, meaning like you can do it. You can rise above. He's got the sword in his hand. That's, wounds, emotional conflict, a hierarchy, or status, or, things like this. It could be, but he's cutting into the light. And in the other hand, I don't know if you can see, he's got a torch, which is the light. So the way I view it is like, we can choose the conflict, or we can choose to move towards the light. And I think moving towards the light is always the way. And you can do it means like stay towards the light, hold the torch, light your own path, stay out of the drama, clear and shield your energy from the drama and detach from the drama, choose peace. And also, use that torch. You have the torch in your hand. You know the way. Illuminate your own path. Stay on your own path. Keep it light. Stay away from the conflict. And remember that you're being guided. Everything's working out perfectly. There really is no ugliness around this. It just feels yucky if you are in any type of conflict or drama, or if any of this is affecting you. If there's jealousy, if there's any sort of a shakeup going on, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it in your professional life. The Divine Feminine is focusing on career projects and manifestations and money and material and creative projects. And this is also saying with those things that you can do it. You have the power, you have the strength, and you have the light and the awakening and the enlightenment and the knowledge that you need to do it. Okay, so the other card that just kept popping up, and it's funny because I'm a writer, but it's right, okay? And it's Thoth, and this is telling us that in even small ways we need to be writing. So in our Twin Flame support group, we have somebody who's writing amazing poems and channeling these beautiful words and thoughts and feelings into poetic form. And it's all inspired by the Twin Flame experience. I've been talking about, keeping the dream journal, and, just whether you work with a counselor or a psychic and you want to write down like your readings, which I've done. This is I can't see it because it's too bright, but it's my reading that I had with healer Tara Rose. Behind it is, pages of dreams, whether you want to write creatively or if you want to write a letter to your twin to get the feelings out. Also, another connection I have in our Twin Flame family support group, and this person and many that I've spoken with and talked to and am working with, feel a very stuckness. So if there isn't all this movement happening and you feel stuck and there's silence and you haven't heard from your twin and it's making you feel stifled, for lack of a better word, that stifled feeling is you constricting and holding emotions inside, and it's not healthy to do that. And you're going to either manifest illness or, like emotional stress that will infiltrate into your physical body. So remember, it's important to get the emotions out. Even if you can't air them with your twin, try to start a writing ritual where you're writing these feelings down, or you're writing letters and maybe not sending them to your twin. It's going to help. It's like therapy. It also helps with your process and reflection and all of these things. So I am going to, because of the current energy, I'm not going to post a video or hold a support group call this week. If you're watching, you're normally on my calls. I think we should take a week break. I know I need that right now. There's a lot of processing that needs to happen, and I'd like to reconvene in a week from now. So if you have questions or want to email me comments, please do. I believe that there's momentum that is pushing things either forward or to ahead or to a peak, and after this period, like, the dust will settle, and there'll be a deeper digging into the awakening, the work, and then there'll also be some twin flame reunions that are happening as well over the next several months. I say by fall. Some are happening now, but I think, if you're getting a shakeup right now, there's going to be a good 3-month period before your twin's going to come forth to you and be even ready to think about a union, because there's so much healing and processing that needs to happen on his or her level. So keep that in mind, and I will talk with you soon and look forward to giving you more updates and also hearing back from you. Thank you. Okay. Be well, everyone.